And you know, there's a lot of people out there selling a lot of temporary lighting, but not everyone gets it right. Zach, can you show us a little bit about what we have here?
Well, I'll show you how we got it right. We got 4 of our 16050 high lumen output LED cord lights. What we're going to show here is what happens with the voltage along the cord. So we got 4 of them hooked up, 400 feet.
All daisy chained IC.
Yep. We got a couple of multimeters, so we're going to take a look at the voltage on the input side compared to the voltage on the far side. And the ultimate question we're trying to answer is, if you're buying a product like this, are you getting what you're paying for? Is it performing the way you think it's going to perform in the field? So let's take a look.
Holy!
Oops, sorry, I forgot about that. Important, people, protect those eyeballs. These lights are bright. Let's try it again.
All right, much better.
Here we go. As you can see with our multimeters, on the leading side, we're running about 120 volts. That's what you'd expect for some input voltage. On the tail side, you're down to 102.5. So we're dropping almost 18 volts over 400 feet. That's pretty significant. But what happens if your input voltage isn't 120 to start with, right? Maybe you're plugging these in, you're already 400 or 500 feet from your panel. Maybe you only get 110 volts. Now at 110 volts, our tail voltage is about 90.
Sure.
So that's wild, right? 20 volt drop.
So how do EPCO's temporary lights differ from our competitors?
Well, let's go take a look.
Let's go. We've seen a lot of these temporary lights before, haven't we?
We sure have.
Tell us a little about what we have going on here.
Well, we're going to take an in-depth look at these like we did downstairs with our demo. Some of these on paper look the same, but there are some operational differences. So let's see what happens when you start dropping down to 90 or 100 volts like we saw downstairs, just like you see in typical application. Here's a quick look at our setup. We have our variac to dim the voltage down, drop the voltage. We have our multimeter to observe our voltage. It's a nice reference. And they're all connected through a power strip behind here. Here we go, 120 volts, right at your source, right? That's what you want to have. But here's what happens when you drop a little voltage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Sure.
look at that.
So you can see where you start to daisy chain some of these lights, you get some real drop off, and that's what this is.
Exactly, yeah,
there.
just the nature of it. It's because of Ohm's law. You can't do anything about it. The difference with our products are just the components and the quality of components we use in there.
And we've seen this before when we've been on job sites with contractors who try to source their temporary lights online for just a very cheap price. We see a lot of those on site where they don't even light up, just like you're starting to show here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the trick, right? A lot of these on paper look just the same, but when you actually check them out in an application like this, there are some differences. So,
Wow, that's impressive.
all right, quick recap. So we saw when you daisy chain cord lights, you get some voltage drop, and we took a visual look at what actually happens to these products, how they operate when there is that voltage drop.
And we see this all the time on job sites. But really, what this is where quality meets performance. Check out our products at engproducts.com.